In this video, I'm going to show you how we can use Dataflow Gen2 to process JSON data and write to Fabric Warehouse. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the sample JSON sales data. So in this case, I've got this key value pairs. I've got this key, order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity, price, and status. And then we have the values. So these are the corresponding values. So this is considered as a single row of data in a tabular data structure. And then we have the second row and so on and so forth. So let's get started on how we can process this data and see how it works using the Dataflow Gen2. I'm going to come to my Fabric demo workspace and I've got Dataflow Gen2 item created. And of course, I've got this sales warehouse created. So I'm going to proceed to launch Dataflow Gen2. And this is a familiar interface similar to the Power BI desktop, but this is optimized for Microsoft Fabric on the web. So we need to get our data. So I'm going to come to the new query and I'm going to click on get data, and then we can see the most often used data sources. But we want to go to more option at the bottom, and I'm going to search for the JSON file format, and I'm going to click on that. So basically, we can use the link to file if the file is actually resident in the cloud. We can also upload. In our case, I'm going to use the upload functionality to upload the file. So I'm going to click on upload file, and then I can set the option to drag a file here or to upload here. I'm going to click on browse and I'm going to pick one of the data from my downloads. So in this case, I just uploaded this orders 2025.json, and as soon as that is uploaded, I can see this is going to automatically connect to the Cornerstone Solutions 1-my-sharepoint.com, and this is going to be my connection credentials. So I don't need to do anything else. I'm going to click on next at the bottom, and it's going to start connecting to the data source. And in the intermediate step, we will be able to see the data in the Dataflow Gen2. Absolutely easy. So as I've mentioned, we've got these keys, which are the order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity, price, and status, which are considered as columns in a tabular structure. And that's exactly what we've got in it. You have the order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity, price, and status. Amazing. We can also discover that the data types were accurately specified. And we have the dates, we have the O number, and then we have the decimal number data types. So this is absolutely cool. We can perform further transformation if there is a need, but we're happy with this. So what I'm going to do is to select the data destination in order to land this data in a location. So I'm going to add a data destination, and we have a bunch of options which include lakehouse, warehouse, SQL database, and then we have this new option. We can also land in a SharePoint. And when I click on the more option, we have new options such as the Azure SQL database. This has been around anyway for some time. And then we have this Azure Data Lake storage, and this is currently in preview. So I'm going to use the warehouse we created and click on that. So I'm going to provide the connection. So basically, I don't need to do much. I can just give a connection name. This is fine. And the data gateway doesn't apply. I'm just going to go ahead and click on next. And I can see the choose destination target. So we've got new table or an existing table. So in our case, we don't have an existing table. So I'm going to allow Fabric to automatically create the table in the Fabric warehouse. So I'm going to stick with the new table option. And then I can give this a name. Let's call this one sales underscore TBL. And I can see the warehouse. I've got the sales as a database. I'm going to select this and I'm going to click on next at the bottom. And then we can choose the update method, we have the append or replace. So I'm going to go with this default update method. And for the schema option, so we're just going to maintain the fixed schema. And then we can say the source columns, and then we can say the source data types, and then we can say the destination columns and the data types. So all of these are fine. I'm going to click on Save Settings at the bottom right-hand corner, and we have configured the data destination. So this automatically blank out this add data destination, and that's cool. I can go on and run this. So I can click on the save and run, and I can set the option to save and run. We can also save this without running it. We can save, run, and close the Dataflow Gen2 editor here, and we can also save and close. So in our case, we want to save, run, and at the same time close the Dataflow Gen2 editor. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can say, please wait, and this is going to start running. And when I switch back to the workspace, and I can see that this is currently running, and I'm going to wait for some couple of moments. All right, so we can see the green check mark as the status. So this run succeeded. Absolutely cool. I can come to the sales warehouse, and I'm going to expand the sales database, expand the schema, expand the database owner, expand the tables, and you can see the sales underscore TBL. I can expand, I can see all the columns and of course the appropriate data types. I'm going to click on the sales TBL, and I can preview the data. So we have the order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity, price, and status. So in this case, we have 30 rows across 7 columns. Now at this point, I'm going to create a new semantic model which I can use to build a Power BI report. So I'm going to click on new semantic model, and let's call this one sales, and I'm going to choose the sales TBL table, and I'm going to click on confirm. And in a matter of seconds, this is going to create the new semantic model that we can use to build Power BI report. We can build a dashboard and all sorts of things. All right, so this is now created. I can navigate back to the workspace demo, and I can see the sales semantic model now created. I can click on this schedule refresh, and I'm going to come to the refresh at the bottom, and just like we do, we can specify the time zone, and they can configure a refresh schedule. You can do this by daily, weekly, day and frequency, and once you're happy, just go ahead and do your configuration. But let's just quickly just build a Power BI report on top of that. So I'm going to come back again, and I'm going to click on the sales semantic model, and I will click on explore data. Let's just use the auto generate a report. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to start generating my Power BI report, and your report is ready. So I'm going to click on view report now, and this is now created nice and easy. So we have this quick summary, and we have the name of the table at the top, and then we can see some order key metrics like the sum of price, sum of quantity. We can see this line chart that shows the sum of price by order date, and then we have this sum of quantity by order date, and then we can see the narratives including the sum of price by status, sum of price by customer ID. All right, so this is basically how we can use the Dataflow Gen2 to connect to our data that is of JSON file format, and then we can perform a little bit of transformation, and we can load to sales warehouse and create a semantic model and create an auto-generated Power BI report. I trust you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like, comment, share, and follow me for more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Cheers.